What's up, guys? Thank you for clicking on the video. Today on Night Drive TV, I introduce you folks to the car I love and hate, the twin turbocharged 464 horsepower Cadillac ATS-V. I will briefly go over the details I love and can't stand, and for those real OG viewers of Night Drive TV, the second half of the video will be the story of our recent trip. My mom appears on the channel for the first time, so Lace and I show her the sights around Malibu, Santa Monica, and Venice Beach. Please show some love and hit that like button, leave me a comment, and take a ride with Night Drive TV. You know, the ATS-V, kind of the, I don't want to call it the hidden brother of the CTS-V, but the CTS-V gets all the attention. The ATS-V was actually targeting the BMW M3. And, you know, Cadillac did actually a great job developing this vehicle, but where they kind of misstepped was, I think, just grabbing the audience. And, you know, it's hard to get attention to the Cadillac brand. You know, it has some quirks, though, and I think it had some criticisms, and namely, I think that always surrounded the tranny. As much as, you know, Tadge Juchter and the people at GM wanted to create this automatic transmission that had this PDK shift speed and things like that, it worked out to a degree, but I mean, overall, I like the car. It's a love-hate relationship, and so I'm going to show you kind of the key details that I really like about the car. Then we're going to go for a rip up the canyon here, use the PDR system, which this does have, and let me tell you a bit about it. So first thing I do love about the ATS-V is the size. The size externally, the dimensions of it, it is very much a BMW M3. Now this shares with the 6th Gen Camaro platform. This is basically what they use to shave weight from the 5th Gen Camaro, and then this and that Camaro shares platform. But you know, GM design can sometimes drop the ball on things, but they didn't drop the ball with this car. I really love the design of it. I think it's fantastic. It's very edgy. It has an aggressive stance, an aggressive tone to it, and I tell you, it gets a lot more attention than I thought it was going to get. There's just some details that I really enjoy about this car, and it's just the front end presence. It's an angry looking car. This particular one has the track pack. I have the Recaro seats in it, all the carbon fiber options. It's got 2-piece rotors from the factory. All the trim is black, and it's got a little bit more aero on the rear, and obviously that carbon fiber package wraps around to the back. So with Corvette racing and Cadillac racing in the IMSA and the WeatherTech series, you can see a lot of common approaches to airflow management and things like that in the front of all the kind of performance cars in the GM brand, basically being Camaro, Corvette, and then the Cadillac variants, or the V variants, or the Blackwing variants. You can see a lot of the same aero approaches and things like that. So, you know, the design language of the car, the exterior, I really do like. And I think it's aggressive. To me, it was very understated in the sense that, you know, it's an all-black car. I haven't really done anything to it. I'm probably going to wrap it, do some basic things, but I just didn't think it would get the attention it does. But a lot of people are aware of this car. It's pretty interesting. So it's probably hard to see, but there's a lens. Basically, it's below the rear view mirror. It has a little cap on it, and that's your front end view. And it does record in-car audio, and gives you just a great way to kind of look at what you did, whether it be on track or on a back road like this. So love these things about the car. This is all the aspects of the car. I can't complain. I think it's a great car overall. I think they did fantastically well. People complain about the Q system, and you know, which is the dash interface and things. Honestly, it's just not bothering me. I don't understand what people's criticisms are of it, but you know, you've got some carbon fiber enhancements on the dash, some things, very unique weave. So yes, let's be real, I really like everything about this car. I mean, it's really a complete package, but here's what I don't like. I'm going to sit down the camera, the car's idling. Obviously it's got the dual mode exhaust, so you can open the valves, shut the valves, but it doesn't let you rev the car. And obviously GM put that in place for, you know, protection of the motor and things like that, but it literally holds you at like 3,100, so you can't get much out of it. So here's going to be the rev with the valves closed, and then I'm going to rev it with the valves open. So as you can see, exhaust note, not great, but it's a Cadillac, so I understand they want to keep it calm. But this is where GM struggles. They don't know how to have fun, I don't think. They're worried about warranties. Here's the valves open. Now you're like, oh, wait a second. I mean, I did hear some turbo spool. I did hear that turbine spinning in those twin turbos, and you're right. So, I mean, it shows you it's got some potential locked away. But I just really think for the track pack, for the ATS-V, the top model, I think they could have just gone a little more aggressive here. Obviously, aftermarket can fix it. But, man, I just really wish they had more output. Okay, so we're going to go for a quick ride. I'm not going to do an extensive video from here. I really want to put together a real complete ATS-V video, so leave me a comment below if you want to see that. I really want to get into the details that I feel like Cadillac didn't highlight when they were putting this car on sale. A little bit of lack of lane discipline here, but, you know, this car is extremely nimble, and you can see with the G-meter here on the left, I'm not super aggressive. The car has very little body roll. But it's a super fun car to drive in the canyons in these situations. And with a little bit of turbo lag that it does have, it kind of adds a little bit of dynamics to it because it does take a second. And so you can really rush from corner to corner pretty quickly. So I really do enjoy the car. As far as the transmission goes, at part throttles and, you know, basically when you're not wide open throttle, some of the shifts can be delayed, but, you know, you can alter your timing for that. It's really not something that hangs you up. But overall, I mean, I really do like the car. I think the one thing that just I struggle with is the transmission in auto mode. It's not when you're being aggressive. It's when you're trying to just drive normally. The transmission exhibits a few little hard shift issues, and there's some technical service bulletins for that I'm looking into. So I'll update, but you know, you can see I'm really having a great time with the car. To have this system on board, developed by Cosworth for Cadillac Racing, you can extract a ton of data. All suspension movement, tire inflation pressures to 1/10 of a PSI. Obviously, all your lateral movements, steering angle, brake, acceleration. It will overlay onto a map using Google Maps and things like that. You can improve your times, you know, basically in many different realms. So, I mean, this system alone is something that really stands out when it comes to GM's performance cars. But you can see I'm getting a lot of traction indications. And so, you know, I got this car with 31,000 miles on it, and I'm going to check the alignment. I do feel like it has an odd amount of maybe rear toe out. It floats a bit, and it does seem to lose traction. So I'm going to have to do an alignment check. But the only issue with the PDR is the in-car audio. The exhaust note is not great. I really wish GM would have like some way that you could put a mic back there and kind of pipe it into the video into the memory card. So the memory card just goes into the glove box, and obviously it just records all this for you. So it's a great feature. Obviously up here in these mountains, you can't get too crazy because you will go over the edge, and people do quite often. So, you know, I was having a good time with the car. And, you know, I will do another video and let me know what you guys might want to see. I'm really interested in this car. I think overall I give it, I mean, quite honestly, I give it like a 9 out of 10. This trip to California, I drove it more than I had driven it prior. I actually had this car for months, and I really wasn't driving it. There was something about it. I was just, I don't want to say I had buyer's remorse, but it just, I'm used to cars that are about 10 years old. And, you know, these modern cars, they just feel different. So as I was driving the 992 Porsche as seen here, and driving the C8 Corvette and all these videos I have coming ahead, you know, I do realize that there's a commonality between all these vehicles and these performance variants. That's just, you know, it's just part of what's happening now. Visibilities are different. The structure feels different that you're sitting in versus a little bit older cars. And it's just something you have to get used to. I wasn't immediately sold, but this car has taught me to appreciate it, and this Canyon Drive was part of that. So overall, I mean, it's a good thing in a sense that Cadillac didn't get the attention they did, because they only ended up selling about 4,500 ATS-Vs. Only half of them were four doors.
you know, even, and then that was split between manual and automatic. I got an automatic in this car. I don't like automatics, but I got the automatic in this car because I really wanted my Z06 and my Corvettes to have another place in my life. I didn't want this car with, you know, you can flat shift it. You can basically just keep your foot to the floor, kick the clutch and shift. You know, it has features with the manual that I thought I would really like. And, you know, this is a very good handling, very, very solid and capable car. The chassis is extremely stiff. And it is very on center with steering. It's just a very responsive car, very competitive with something German. There's no question. It just does not feel like a product that would come out of Cadillac. So super impressed by it. And, you know, I am going to make more videos on it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, if I will mod it or not. But it's got, like I said, about 31,000 miles on it. No issues at all whatsoever. And I really enjoy it. So we'll see what happens. You know, the one thing I can say is the braking in this car, despite the Brembos and the two-piece rotors and things, standing on the brakes is just not the same as my Z06. This car weighs about 3,700 pounds, I believe, versus my Z06, which is sub 3,000. And, you know, I just have more rubber on the Z06, so standing on the brakes in the Z06 will put you in the windshield. This car, not so much. It almost caught me out a couple times. But great drive here. Damn you, California. It just gives you a playground in so many different ways. So that's about it for the drive. If you're, you know, please don't complain that there's no audio in the background of this. There's just really nothing to hear. You can't hear the exhaust very well. So it's something that I think in the future, as I record, I'm going to probably record something additional and edit the two together. And, but that's about it, guys. And let's go ahead and get to the trip. And I appreciate you watching the Cadillac portion of this video. And I'll have a lot more in the future. And so my mom did enjoy the car. She rode in the front seat. Lace rode in the back. They're not the roomiest cars, but comfortable enough for sure. And the Recaros are very supportive. We did about a 5-hour drive in them. It wasn't bad. Lace was comfortable. So, you know, obviously a CTS, you get into a 7 Series BMW, they're more comfortable cars. But for the capability you get here, definitely good. All things come with compromises, folks. So since we're talking about love-hate, Lace is going to help us with this Airbnb.
Lace, do you love the view?
I do love the view.
Now, Lace, do you love the fact that they left all the dishes dirty in there?
Not at all.
Yeah, that's what they did. And like here, who doesn't love a shower with an ocean view? But don't you hate that that's the washcloth that they gave you? All jokes aside, though, yes, we are out here in Malibu, California, just 2 days. My mom's with me, and that's going to kind of be in this video. So for those of you that sub to the channel and have watched Night Drive TV, this was an opportunity. Sit down. Yeah, so all joking aside, we are out here in Malibu, California, and just stayed for 2 nights. My mom came out to Las Vegas, so she'll be in the video here. All right, she's here. What do you think?
Something's not on, is it?
What do you mean? Does Lace approve?
I approve.
Do you?
I like it, yes.
It's a cool little overlook area here.
Cheery, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look how rocky it is. We can probably get down there.
Pretty cool. All right, next morning.
So the next morning, you're going to notice here the tide is much higher. And so as the night came in, the tide came in, it was going underneath the place. It was shaking the walls. Oh, boy.
Man, this was loud all night, let me tell you. So the waters are definitely crashing here. There is access down there through the garage, so I'm not sure what to expect, but I'm going to go down there and let's see what it looks like. So this is what the walk down to the water looks like, and it feels a little scary. I don't know why. I hear water. I don't see water through there. Oh, okay, we're safe. So we're under the facility right now. I'm watching the water to see if I'm going to get bombarded. It's not wet here. This is underneath all of the different buildings. See, it's quite shored up. Definitely some corrosion, but some big concrete footer type of things. But you see their steps aren't as accessible. Oh God, I felt like that was taking me out. Oh, that came close. All right, let's sit here, see what happens. Get up there, Lace, get to the edge. That's a hard part of the ATS-V is getting out. This pillar right here, tough to get around. Now, Lace is telling me that she has seen these RVs over here the last time we were here. Is that true?
Yes.
You're sure?
Yep.
How can you be sure?
I remember them.
So they've been sitting there, beachfront property, since last time we were here.
Yep.
We're definitely coming out in the bus, Lace.
I feel like you might have to go back and look at your video because you were aimed that way. I have to wonder if you could see them.
All right, so I'm going to aim at them now. We're going to head into the Neptunes. You about Neptune's net, Lace?
Why not?
Lace was like a sniper on that one. I mean, that vehicle probably hasn't moved an inch. California in our bus, here we come. So from there, we ate at Neptune's Net once again. Lace loved the ceviche and the chowder. And then we headed down to the Santa Monica Pier. Obviously, my mom had never been in California before, and they were having some kind of film festival. So just kind of walking out on the pier, checking things out, and just trying to see what's changed. And everything's opened up a lot more, and it's quite enjoyable again, thankfully. So who doesn't love the Santa Monica Pier?
We're waiting for that sunset.
You're waiting for that sunset, Lace.
Everybody's out there waiting.
Everybody's waiting for the sunset.
Yeah.
Josh has repeatedly told me because he has one of those, that's exactly the guy he wants to be.
It's called Meat on Ocean, I think.
Meat on Ocean. Not a very creative name, but they age all their meat in here at least 30 days. And they have this process, it's like a salt wall or something. Looks like something. What is your thoughts on this, Lace?
Absolutely incredible. I think the best steak I've ever had. Hands down. Ever.
She doesn't even like the fat, but she's saying the fat is even.
It is just like melting. It's insane.
You love it.
Oh, it's so good.
We're at Venice. We're heading out today. Gonna get some food, walk around, see what's out here, see what dopers we have on the beach. Thoughts, Lace?
Venice is just an interesting place.
Yeah, buddy.
Where are you from?
Yeah, buddy. Vegas.
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 Oh, the nice, the good place of the earth.
Well, we were going to eat at that place on the beach there. Me and Lace ate there some years back. We were hoping to return, but they asked for our papers. They wanted our papers in order to eat in there. We were rejected, so we're gonna have to go find somewhere else to eat. But you know, that's what you get these days. Go ahead. Like it.
You're a star. You're a star. You're a star.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
I'm a wind, and I'm an ocean, and I'm a sky,
I can see that.
I'm everything.
I like it.